Hi everyone, and welcome to my Wormery. What I have here is my original worm population, and I have a kind of emergency a week ago. So I came here, checked my worms, and they were all on the walls and clogging the holes for them to breathe. And I didn't really understand the situation until I came here next morning and I saw I have two windows here. And my worms were resting in here as they're now. And always the sun problem was with this window. And I found it was coming through this one and hitting up the worm bin. I guess it only happens few days a year. I moved the bin a little bit out of this side to protect the worms from the sun, but it happened from the other side. So what I did, I moved as many worms as I could from here to the new bin. This was just a bedding. I had prepared bedding in this one, and yeah, I left them since I just fluff the bits to make sure they have enough air. There are worms that are left in the main bin, and some of them sadly died, but they seem to recover quickly. When I came here they were pale and listless, but when I opened the flap, I couldn't smell anything bad, but some of the gases are, they don't have any smell. So I fluffed, just after I removed the worms to the new bin, I fluffed this bin and they start to recover. I only had around 10 minutes to deal with this before I had to go for a few hours, and when I came back they were looking much better, had more color, they were moving better. So I hope most of them recovered, but I know some didn't. So what I'm going today is to feed this one, because they didn't get any food for a week. This bedding, this prepared bedding, has some coffee grounds and eggshells, crushed eggshells for a grit, but doesn't have any much more food. So what I have for them today is a few tea bags and a couple of pieces of cauliflower. So very small feeding. I don't want to overfeed them. I don't want any more problems with them, but I also don't want to keep them starving. Okay, so I'll take my glove and we'll get to it. Okay, let's check the guys how they're doing in this bin. So we have one here, one here, and many more. They tend to hang out in the corners But as you can see, they're looking good. I think they recovered, but by now maybe some of them don't have the colors that they used to have. But this one is looking nice and good, nice and healthy. So I have different age of worms here. Some are little, some are bigger, tons of babies. Okay, so let's give them some food. I will drop it here in the corner. Okay, they have grit in the bedding, so I'm not adding any more now. I have tons of grit, but don't want them to feel uncomfortable and dry. So I'll leave it for now. Maybe I will add some with the next feeding. So this is it for this bean. I will let them enjoy some food and we'll see how they're doing. Hopefully they can cope with some more. I don't know how many worms are here. I tried to move most of them here, but as I said, I only had 10 minutes before I had to go. So let's check this bean. So the way I was running it recently is I had more finished stuff here. It had more castings. It was almost ready to harvest again. And I had some more fresh bedding on this side, but I mixed it all because I wanted those worms to be able to breathe, to have some oxygen. And yeah, it was a good decision. I can always wait. So as you see, there are some worms here. There's not that many. I moved most of them to the other bin. But there are some. And they seem to do fine in this. I'll fluff it a little bit more, just all through the bin. So you can see they look nice and healthy and lively. They are not as pale anymore. They look a little bit lighter on camera than in a real life. So we have different ages of worms, some babies, some slightly bigger. This is developing clitellum here. I'm not sure if you can see. It's hardly visible, so it will take a while. But hopefully this bean will recover. It will grow its population, the worms will get bigger, and they will start to have their own babies. There's tons of cocoons in this bean, so it should be fine. But I don't think I will harvest it anytime soon. This bin has tons of castings, but because I mix the fresh stuff with the old stuff, it has to be processed a little bit more evenly, I guess. I'll probably go back to kind of the wedge system, where I will push the more processed stuff to one side and add new stuff to the other. But for now, I don't think I need to feed them. They still have some food leftovers from the last feeding, and because I have less worms in this bin, they will need more time to process it. So we'll just check them for a while, probably 2 or 3 weeks, without adding any food. I will come here and fluff this bin every day for another week or so, just to make sure they have enough oxygen. I leave it open for now, so it stays open all day and night. But okay, what else I can do? I have to wait and see how they recover. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.